Hello and welcome to episode 15 of the Iron Monologue series. Today's topic is quite a meaty one. It's titled Training for Size and Strength, Why Getting the Big Picture Right is All That Matters. Well, you see on the internet quite a lot, where you see on forums quite a lot of people discussing how to optimize training, how to use bands and chains to better develop your velocity through the lift, how box squats or some other kind of lift might better recruit this muscle or that muscle, how training in this rep range or not training to failure is better because of these reasons. There's a multitude of factors, and you've all heard the arguments for and against. What I'm here to advocate today is just forgetting about all of it and just getting on with it. Whether you're a bodybuilder, you're a powerlifter, or you're a strength athlete, we all have similar goals. All our goals are intertwined as much as we might not want to admit it. When we train for size or strength, we are both chasing after the same adaptations. These adaptations are closely linked together. When you get stronger or bigger, the two main morphological changes that happen, I'll place them into two categories. Those are the neural changes and the mechanical changes. The neural changes occur, you've probably heard of. They occur by changing fiber type, recruitment of more muscle fibers, better coordination, skill acquisition, things I've covered before. These are kind of the adaptations that weightlifters and powerlifters are primarily after. However, to better achieve these, or to have more muscle mass to recruit, they're also after the mechanical changes. And the mechanical changes are primarily hormonal, and they result in larger muscle mass. They result in the recruitment of satellite cells to bind onto muscle sarcomeres to make larger muscle cells, and that results in bigger biceps and bigger pecs. This is normally a response to volume of work, so the number of reps you do, the number of sets you do in a workout. This is kind of what determines this response. What we both need to do is better marry these two concepts together into our programming. If you're a bodybuilder, you should be doing high rep sets, you should be doing a lot of sets, but you should also be going as heavy as you can within those sets. If you look at barbell bench or you look at barbell squat, if you're a bodybuilder trying to get as big as you can and you want to stay in the 8 to 12 range, that's fine, but you need to be working with weights that are going to challenge you in that rep range. There's no point using 50 or 60% weights, especially if you're a natural trainer, because you need the stress that training is going to induce for you to get bigger. You're not going to get bigger off low intensity weight training. It's not going to happen. Not unless you're assisted, which we'll get on to later. Mainly what we're talking to right now is the natural trainers. If you're a natural bodybuilder, you need to be training at a high intensity at almost every set, or as high intensity as you can manage at almost every set. And we'll talk about how to optimize that kind of your selection. As a powerlifter, you also need to be training at high intensities at almost every set. That doesn't mean you train to failure with every set, although it doesn't mean you shy away from failure. But say you're training in a 5 rep range because you're a powerlifter, you're doing 5 sets of 5. Each one of those sets needs to be challenging. It needs to be within a certain percentage of effort. Otherwise, you're not really going to take away anything from that session. Since we are in a purely physiologically based sport, all the adaptations we get are through your effort. So if you have a heavy squat day or you have a volume squat day and you're not coming away from it having put in a hard workout, you probably didn't get any better that day, and that's the nature of what we do. Let's move on to some research. So here's a meta-analysis in the journal Strength and Conditioning from MD Patterson et al., published in 2004. In this meta-analysis, they looked at a total of 370 studies, a total of 37 studies with I think there's a 3,000 odd population. They come up with 370 different effect sizes, those 370 different variables they looked at. And what they came across was number of reps, 1 to 6 reps were best for strength. This is maximizing strength development in athletes, so this is for athletic populations. 1 to 6 reps per set, 6 to 8 sets per muscle group per workout. 85% is the optimal percentage to work at, and 2 workouts per body part per week. So if you're training primarily for strength, this literature review would recommend that in your program, say for your chest, you have 2 chest workouts, so 2 bench workouts. You have 6 to 8 sets for that body part. You stick it around 85%, so that probably means 4 to 6 rep rate, 4 to 6 rep weight, and you do 2 of those workouts every week. And do the same for legs, the same for deadlift. How many powerlifters do you know train like that? I don't know many. And for bodybuilding, what we do seem to see quite a lot from powerlifters is we either overdo one and underdo the other. So we follow a program like Smolov that pays attention to the squat and applies a huge amount of volume on it and gets you really good at squat, but you can't train deadlift during that period, and you can't really train bench properly. So as a powerlifter, you might increase your squat quite a lot, but you're not really going to increase your total. And when you go back to training like you would do for a meet, training all the 3 lifts intensely, you'll lose the vast majority of the adaptation you got for that lift. What you need to do as a powerlifter is train all the lifts concurrently, train them heavy, and train for volume at the same time. And there's a number of ways you can do that. There's a number of programs that will let you do that. And you can either do it where you start with a high volume phase and move into a high intensity, low volume phase, typical kind of linear training. You can do concurrent training where you have a rep day and you have a heavy day. So for say bench, squat, deadlift, you have a heavy day which is 90% and over, so maybe 3 sets of 3, 3 sets of 2, that sort of deal, 2 sets of 2, something like that. And you have a rep day, which could be anything. It could be 4 sets of 10, 5 sets of 10, 5 sets of 5, 5 sets of 4 to 6. What you really need to be doing though is doing them both together, because what the rep training, the volume training does, it creates the kind of the environment for you to get bigger, to get put on the muscle mass where you want it. So if you target it at the primary movers, so in bench press, the chest, the shoulders, the triceps, you target your volume there to get bigger. That'll give you more muscle mass to recruit, which will allow you to be stronger at that exercise. For squat, the same thing applies. If you're targeting as much volume and as intensity in the squat as you can each week and recover from it, then your assistance should be primarily targeted at the prime movers and at the assistants, so like glutes, hamstrings, quads, and just trying to get them bigger so you have more muscle mass to recruit in the lift. As a bodybuilder, you're not really necessarily too fussed with the higher percentage stuff, the 90% stuff, the 95% stuff. But what you are fussed at is using a heavier weight within the 8 to 12 rep range, or doing a lot of sets, so like maybe 5 sets of 5 or 6 sets of 6 with a weight you can move in that range. And you want to be performing 2 volume workouts a week to get as much kind of take advantage as much as you can of the mechanical factors. But you're going to have to train some neurological stuff as well, otherwise you're going to stall out. So having some periods or some workouts where you maybe do 1s, 2s and 3s might be a good idea, because it might help you push up your 8s, push up your 10 reps, push up your 12 reps, push up your 5 reps. But you need to be training like this all the time. Bodybuilding especially, almost more than powerlifting, because bodybuilding is just, you're continually, if you're trying to get bigger, you continually need to be applying stress and recovering from the stress. And we all know recovery is important. Food, sleep, all the rest of it. You know it's important, but I don't know if enough of us pay enough attention to the intensity we put in the gym. Because at the end of the day, whether it's intensity over 1 or 3 sets, or it's intensity over 8 to 12 reps, it's the intensity that applies the stress that's going to allow you to adapt and get bigger. So over the following years, or over your journey as a lifter, hopefully over many decades, what's going to make a difference to the lifter you are now and the lifter you are in 10 years is applying the factors I'm talking about consistently. From workout to workout, you work out heavy, you work out hard, you put in enough volume to get better, you put in enough weight on the bar to get better, you recover from it, you sleep enough, you eat enough. These are the things that are going to make you a better bodybuilder. These are the things that are going to make you a better strength athlete. Not whether you're doing West Side, you're doing 531, you're doing the Cube, you're doing whatever program you're doing. These are the small percentage factors. You can give anyone any program if they train with enough heart, they train with enough intensity, they put enough work in, they're going to get better. As long as they're progressively striving to add more weight to the bar, they're progressively striving to add reps to sets. These are the factors that are going to make you a better lifter in 10 years time, or make you a better bodybuilder in 10 years time. Whether you use bands or chains, or it's a percentile factor, and over enough time, percentile factors are going to be lost. It's the big picture that's going to make a difference. The sooner that you kind of get in line with this message, and the sooner that you realize that it's not what BCAA you take, it's not when you take your protein, whether you take a post-workout shake or you don't, whether your leptin's enhanced, whether cortisol is too high, whether herp-de-derp small percentage factor is correct or not. This is noise. You need to pay attention to the big picture. You need to make sure that every workout you go into, you're giving 100% into that workout. You're targeted in what you're doing. You have defined goals for each workout. If you're a bodybuilder, right, in chest, I want to work on this. I want to bring out this part of the muscle. I want to use these exercises to achieve my goals, and I'm going to use these exercises the best I can to what I think is the most effective method. If you're a powerlifter, you need to be constantly striving to perfect your performances, whether that's lifting more in a weight class or that's just lifting more absolutely. The things that are going to make you better at that is perfecting your technique, getting more volume into the lift, lifting more weights, getting used to lifting 9% plus weights. These are the factors that are going to make you stronger, not whether you've used chains this workout to develop the speed through the lift, not whether you've used bands. These are percentile factors that make very little to no difference for your natural trainer. Okay, that'll conclude this topic, because there's some CrossFit going on. As always, if you want to engage in discussion, I'm more than happy to. Shoot me an email, leave a comment below. I'll engage with everybody I can. That concludes this episode. Hope you enjoyed it. Any feedback's always appreciated. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.